I need to finish what I started. And that's the only reason that I ever even stepped onto the sideline from where I was at initially. Because I had to exercise some demons for myself, but more than anything is when you hear the narratives that are written by people who are not here and just have random stuff to say, it irks me because they don't know.
Doug Christie has finally reached his breaking point. After staying quiet for more than 20 long years, he is no longer hiding his pain, his frustration, or the truth he has carried in silence. He has now filed a massive lawsuit worth $4.6 million against two people he trusted the most, his wife, Jackie Christie, and his former teammate and friend, Chris Webber. What Doug revealed isn't just relationship trouble, a disagreement, or some dramatic moment from a reality show. This situation is rooted in paternity lies, identity manipulation, emotional harm, and years of secrecy supported by proof that cannot be ignored. For years, Doug Christie's life looked stable from the outside. He appeared to be the dedicated husband, the loving father, and the loyal teammate. But deep down, a quiet uncertainty had been growing.
He runs his life. To the point when he was playing with the Sacramento Kings, when he out on the bench, he wasn't allowed to look up because she said she didn't want him to catch the eye of a cheerleader or somebody in the crowd. And you see this on tape because they did a whole special on it, to where he sits down on the bench after he gets subbed out and have to do this till he gets subbed back in.
Even though he tried to ignore it, something never fully added up. His doubts became too strong to push aside, and eventually, Doug decided to take a DNA test, a choice that changed everything he believed about his family. When the results arrived, Doug's world collapsed. The test showed a 0% biological connection to Chantel, the daughter he had raised, supported, and loved for more than 2 decades. Doug had wiped her tears, paid her school fees, protected her from the world, and guided her through life. For him to discover that she was not biologically his was a blow that no father would ever be prepared to face. Still, Doug didn't want to jump to conclusions. He wanted complete clarity, not assumptions, not rumors, not guesses. So another DNA test was ordered, this time including his ex-teammate and longtime friend, Chris Webber.
I would have to say I give advice to successful Black women like yourself that's young to continue to follow your dream no matter what. People are going to get mad. Right now, my light is shining. It's my time. And there's a lot of people that don't want to see that. But I tell you what, I'm going to keep on shining.
When that second test returned, the truth hit even harder than the first. It was confirmed with 99.99% accuracy that Chris was Chantel's biological father. This wasn't just betrayal. It was a betrayal that involved two people Doug believed were loyal to him. Doug had been raising Chris Webber's child for 2 decades, and the two people who knew the truth kept silent. Jackie never told him. Chris never told him. Chantel grew up believing Doug was her real father, unaware of the secret shaping her entire identity. But what transformed this situation from heartbreak into a full-blown legal battle was what Doug discovered next. During the preparation for the case, Doug's legal team uncovered Jackie's handwritten journals. These weren't vague notes or half-finished pages. They contained detailed entries that showed she had doubts from the very beginning.
Sure. Now, Valentine's Day is tomorrow. I do know you're in Sacramento. What's going to be the Valentine's Day plans? You have to tell me.
You know, the team's going to be playing Phoenix on Valentine's Day.
Oh,
I have to shoot a podcast, and I have a party that they're doing for me here, so I won't be going to the trip. So This will be our first Valentine that I won't be with them. So we had Valentine's last night. We had dinner, we gave gifts, and it was so amazing. And I told him, "You're my lifetime Valentine."
She admitted she wasn't sure about paternity, but chose secrecy instead of honesty. She wrote about fear, guilt, and the decision to remain silent for the sake of public image. Then came the recording, a leaked voicemail between Jackie and Chris. In the audio, Jackie could be heard urging Chris to stay consistent with the story, even though the story itself was built on a lie. This wasn't confusion or uncertainty. This was coordination. This was intentional deception. And this was two adults choosing to leave Doug in the dark for their own benefit. Doug had every reason to fall apart emotionally, but instead of breaking down, he took action. He didn't crumble, he didn't scream, he didn't beg for an apology. Doug called his lawyers. Once the team gathered evidence, Doug filed a lawsuit in Los Angeles County Superior Court seeking $4.6 million in damages.
Apparently, the chick that he's been with that came up with the whole Basketball Wives show concept, Jackie, had cheated on him with Chris Webber and had a baby that is now in her 20s. And she basically lied and had Doug Christie thinking that this young lady was his daughter, when in all actuality, it was Chris Webber's baby.
So that's real news.
This wasn't a lawsuit built on assumptions. It was supported with hard facts, financial records, medical bills, journals, and digital evidence. Doug's claims included paternity fraud, deception in the public eye, identity manipulation, emotional distress, and financial harm. Every dollar he spent raising Chantel was outlined in the filing. Doug wasn't only seeking money. He also wanted the legal record corrected. He requested the court to officially change Chantel's birth certificate to list Chris Webber as her biological father. For Doug, this wasn't revenge. He wanted truth, accuracy, and accountability. The news of the lawsuit shattered Jackie's public persona. Her brand, built on confidence and boldness, began to crumble. When she was officially served the court documents, sources claim she collapsed onto the floor and cried uncontrollably. But her emotional moment became even more public when she went live on Instagram at 2 a.m. She looked overwhelmed, confused, and distressed. She spoke vaguely about loyalty and betrayal before abruptly ending the live stream. Viewers didn't respond with sympathy. Many accused her of trying to manipulate public opinion or seeking validation. The live stream only fueled doubts about her intentions and added more pressure to an already explosive situation. Then came the moment that shocked everyone even more. 2 days after Doug's lawyers requested Chantel to speak as a witness, Jackie allegedly attempted to bribe her own daughter. According to legal documents, Jackie's assistant delivered a sealed envelope to Chantel's apartment. Inside was a large amount of cash and a handwritten note urging Chantel to stay out of the case. The message said she shouldn't let herself get dragged into this and that her mother would take care of her. Chantel didn't accept the money. Instead, she took clear photographs of the envelope, the bills, and the note. Then she sent everything directly to Doug's attorney. Within hours, Jackie received a cease and desist letter, and the alleged bribe was reported as witness tampering, a serious offense with potential criminal consequences. As the case grew more intense, depositions began. Doug's testimony was powerful. He spoke calmly, but with deep emotion. He admitted that he spent 20 years building up Jackie's public image while sacrificing his own peace. He explained that he protected a lie without realizing it. Even though his voice never shook, the weight of his words was felt by everyone in the room. When Jackie took her turn, she contradicted herself repeatedly. She said she never meant to hurt Doug, yet admitted she knew from their daughter's first year the paternity wasn't certain. Her explanations didn't convince anyone. The moment she was questioned about the birth certificate, the courtroom saw through her excuses. This wasn't a small mistake. It was a decision that carried legal impact. Then Chris Webber walked in for his deposition. No cameras, no noise, just the weight of 2 decades of secrecy. He acknowledged that he always knew the possibility existed that he was the father. He claimed he stayed silent to protect everyone, but Doug's attorney quickly challenged him. When asked if he knowingly allowed another man to raise his child, Chris answered, "Yes, and I'll always regret it." That confession damaged any defense he hoped to build. The evidence was overwhelming: a hidden identity, intentional silence, a forged history, and 20 years of emotional deception. Doug's goals expanded beyond personal vindication. His legal team wanted this case to set a national example for paternity fraud laws. Many states have no protections for men who unknowingly raise children based on false information. Doug's attorneys argued that fathers deserve justice when paternity is misrepresented. If Doug's case succeeds, it could influence new laws across the country. Judges are also considering whether Jackie and Chris should repay every dollar Doug spent during those 20 years. Additionally, Jackie's alleged attempt to influence her daughter could open the door to criminal charges such as perjury, fraud, and tampering. Meanwhile, Chantel is on her own journey of truth. She legally filed to change her last name, removing Christie from all documents. She wanted her own identity, not one connected to a lie. Soon after, she announced a memoir titled Built on Lies: My Life as Someone Else's Daughter. Early previews show that the book will discuss her childhood confusion, the hidden tension in her home, and the moment she saw the DNA results. In an interview teaser, Chantel said, "This isn't about who my father is. This is about finally living in truth." She didn't attack her mother or Chris. She spoke like someone who spent years buried in confusion and now wanted clarity. The public response has been loud and clear. Many support Doug, saying he deserves peace after raising a child under false beliefs. Others believe Jackie created this situation through decades of avoidance and manipulation. Some praise Chantel for her dignity and strength. Chris Webber's career also took a hit. Brands pulled back, deals paused, a speaking tour was put on hold, messages leaked showing his PR team panicking. They believed Doug would never speak out, but he did. VH1 began reviewing content related to Doug and Jackie. Old footage was re-examined, contracts were rechecked. The network didn't want to be associated with misinformation or inaccurate family representations. Despite media interest, Doug rejected every interview and business offer connected to the scandal. He refused documentaries and declined talk show appearances. He simply stated he wanted the truth out, not entertainment based on lies. Now, Jackie faces possible criminal review due to the alleged bribe, the forged legal documents, and years of hidden information. Chris may face additional lawsuits for emotional harm and involvement in the deception. This story is far from over, and the truth keeps unfolding. Let me know your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for the next update.